So we need to order these fractions from smallest to largest, and we have 3/5, 11/20, 1/2, 7/10, and 3/4. To be able to compare fractions, we need to find equivalent fractions with the same denominator. So we need a common multiple of 5, 20, 2, 10, and 4. So what can we use as a common denominator? We can use 20 as our common denominator because it's a common multiple of 5, 20, 2, 10, and 4. So what we can do is change all of these fractions to 20ths, and then we will be able to compare them so that we can write them from smallest to largest in the blue boxes below. So how can we change 3/5 into 20ths? Well, 5 times 4 is 20, so for our numerator we can have 3 times 4, which is 12. Now we already have 11/20 here, so we can just copy that down. What is 1/2 in 20ths? Well, 2 times 10 is 20, and 1 times 10 is 10. And 7/10? Well, 10 times 2 is 20, so we need 7 times 2 as our numerator, so 14. And what is 3/4 in 20ths? Well, 4 times 5 is 20, so we need 3 times 5, which is 15. So now that we have found our equivalent fractions, we've done the difficult part. Now, all we need to do is order them. So, of course, 10/20 is our smallest fraction, and that was equivalent to 1/2. And notice when we're ordering fractions, we don't order the equivalent fractions, we order the fractions we're given, so we write 1/2 here, not 10/20. Next smallest is 11/20. Then we have 12/20, which in its original form was 3/5. Then 14/20, so 7/10. And then 15/20, so 3/4. So we've ordered these fractions from smallest to largest. So we have 1/2, 11/20, 3/5, 7/10, and 3/4. And we can show what we've done by looking at a fraction bar for each of these fractions. So our smallest fraction was 1/2, because when we change a half into 20ths, we have 10/20. Then we had 11/20, which we didn't need to change. Then 3/5, which we changed into 12/20. Then 7/10, which is the same as 14/20. Then 3/4, which is the same as 15/20. So you can see what we've done here with fraction bars. But as long as you know how to find equivalent fractions, you don't need to waste time drawing fraction bars. Once you know the equivalent fractions with the same denominator, you know the order. So pause the video and see if you can order these fractions. We know that we need to find equivalent fractions. So what can we use as our common denominator? Well, here, although 6 is a multiple of 2 and 3, it's not a multiple of 4. It's not in the 4 times table, so we can't use 6. But we can use 12, because 12 is a multiple of 4, 3, 2, 3, and 6. So we find our equivalent fractions. 4 times 3 is 12 and 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12 and 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12 and 1 times 6 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12 and 1 times 4 is 4. 6 times 2 is 12 and 5 times 2 is 10. So now that we have our equivalent fractions, it's easy to sort them from smallest to largest. We can see that 4/12 is the smallest, so that's 1/3. Then we have 6/12, which is 1/2. Then 8/12, so 2/3. Then 9/12, or 3/4. Then 10/12, or 5/6. So we have 1/3, 1/2, 2/3, 3/4, and 5/6. And again, we can show what we've done by looking at a fraction bar for each of these fractions. So our smallest fraction was 1/3, because when we change 1/3 into twelfths, we have 4/12. Then we had 1/2, which we can change into 6/12. Then 2/3 can be changed into 8/12. 3/4 can be changed into 9/12. And 5/6 can be changed into 10/12. So even without drawing these fraction bars, once you've found the equivalent fractions, it's easy to order fractions.